Hi, my dear learners. I welcome you to our 12th lesson in integrated science. I hope you're doing well and you're studying hard. We are still under the topic photosynthesis, the topic we started in our previous lesson. In our previous lesson, we touched on the meaning of photosynthesis as a process whereby plants manufacture their own food using carbon dioxide and water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. Then from the definition we deduce 4 factors photosynthesis depends on, which are sunlight, chlorophyll, water, and carbon dioxide. We also identified water and carbon dioxide as the raw materials. Then finally we touched on the word equation that represents photosynthesis. In the equation we combine carbon dioxide with water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll to form glucose and oxygen. Glucose being one of the products of photosynthesis, but the ultimate one, the final one after photosynthesis is starch. Today, we are looking at yet another important aspect of the topic. So we should be able to identify by the end of the lesson the function of each factor of photosynthesis. I asked you to do a research into the functions. I hope you did. Okay. Now before we start with the function of each factor, let us review the 4 main factors. We have chlorophyll, sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide. So we shall now look at the function of each of these factors. You can also see the role of each factor. So we'll pick the chlorophyll. And we're saying that the chlorophyll is the green pigment found in the chloroplasts that traps sunlight. Chlorophyll is the green pigment in the chloroplast that traps sunlight. What then is the role of the sunlight in photosynthesis? Good. It says sunlight breaks down water into hydrogen and oxygen atoms to release energy, which is in the form of adenosine triphosphates, an organic compound that's responsible for driving most of the activities in the cell. So let's go over. We're saying sunlight breaks down water into hydrogen and oxygen atoms to release energy for photosynthesis. Now, what is the function of the water? Now, after the water is broken down by the sunlight, we're saying that it is needed to supply hydrogen atoms to carbon dioxide in the formation of carbohydrates, which could be in the form of glucose, fructose, sucrose, and starch, which is as a product of photosynthesis. Then carbon dioxide. He said carbon dioxide combines with hydrogen atoms to form carbohydrates. Carbon dioxide combines with hydrogen atoms to form carbohydrates. All right, the lesson is short, yet you are encouraged to revise the functions of each factor of photosynthesis. You can as well surf the internet for further explanation, but again, you are warned that do not be carried away with the explanation that will be given, because most of the explanations goes deeper, and the depth to which the explanation goes is beyond your level as a JHS pupil. Do not worry, if you get to SHS, you have the chance in your core biology lesson or elective biology lesson to have greater explanation about all the processes that make use of each of these factors. All right. By way of summary, today we touched on the functions of the factors of photosynthesis. Do your best to research into how to test for starch, the focus for our lesson in our next lesson. All right, make sure you do the exercise, upload the exercise in time, and I'll mark them for you. Remember, you can as well check the scoreboard for all previous exercises that you did and see how you are faring. Till we meet again, bye-bye.